of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
God kväll, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to INCRadio Northern Europe Satellite Studio. I'm Francesca Hayes, and I'm coming to you from Lund, Sweden, and I will be one of your guests this evening. But of course, I'm not alone, so can my co-host please introduce himself?
Yes, hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm Kenneth Bodes, one of your hosts for tonight's broadcast from the local congregation of Stockholm, Sweden. And currently it's Sunday, March 23, 2025, 8 o'clock, Central European time. And in the Philippines, it is already March 24, 2025, 3 a.m. Philippine time. And of course, thank you to all of our viewers and listeners. I see in the live chat, they are so active. And please stay tuned because for sure you will inspire and learn something new for tonight. Yes, Jessica, what do we have for our program?
So for tonight, our topic discussion is all about learning a new language. And we're mainly focusing on the Nordic languages. So all of our guests in the panelists this evening are from the different Nordic countries here in Europe. So we have from Sweden, Denmark, Norway, and Finland. So we're really excited for all of our viewers to meet our guests and hear what they have to say. So without any further delays, let's meet our guest for this evening. So let's stay here in Sweden where we are right now, and let's go to Seb in Arboga. Seb, can you please introduce yourself?
Good kväll, Francesca. Good evening to everyone. Good day and good morning. My name is Sebastian Joyeux. I'm from the Group Worship Service of Arboga, Sweden. I'm have different offices such as Group Worship Service Overseer, Auditor, along with the CFO Officer, as well as Deacon and CFO Officer. I just want to apologize to everyone. I had quite a flu the past few days, so my voice is a bit affected. So hope everyone can hear me.
Yes, thank you, Seb. And we completely understand and relate with your situation. It is a bit of a flu season right now. We experienced the same thing not too long ago. But let's now head to Norway in Stavanger, and let's meet our guest from there. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hello everyone. I'm Julaitan Moring from the local congregation of Stavanger, Norway. I am a head secretary, city vice president, district multimedia officer, and assistant chairperson of the Social Development Services Committee in our district.
Yes, thank you so much, July. For those of you who don't know, brother Julaitan goes by July, if I'm not mistaken, if that is correct. Kenneth, who do we have next?
Yes, Jessica. Okay, punta naman tayo sa karatig bansa nito. Let's start from Denmark. Please introduce yourself.
Yes, hello, Kenneth. Hello, everyone. I'm Florabelle Jansen. I'm from Copenhagen, Denmark. I'm a choir member and also I'm an officer in the CFO district for Buklod.
Yes, thank you, Florabelle. And of course, from Finland, please introduce yourself.
Hi everyone. Hi Kuya Ken. I'm Michelle from Finland, and I'm holding the church duties as a CFO officer, technical officer, and a district multimedia officer. Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you so much, Florabelle and Michelle. And what do we have next, Jessica?
Yes, so let's get started. Let's get into our topic discussion. But it's not just for our guests to talk about. We also want to encourage everyone viewing and tuning in tonight. So everyone in the live chat, please share with us also what languages you speak and what languages you still want to learn. and also share with us what challenge you experience and what tips you would like to give for those trying to learn a new language. So write those all up in the live chat, and we'll do our very best to read it throughout our broadcast. But let's get started. So let's go to Florabelle. For you, what languages do you speak, and what languages would you still want to learn?
Yeah, so currently I speak Filipino, that's my mother tongue, English, Danish, a little bit below intermediate level, I would say. And if it would count, I speak two dialects from the Philippines, Ilocano and Pangasinense. With regards to what I would like to learn, I'm interested in learning Spanish.
Hey, that's really cool. And it's also cool that you know the different dialects, because from the Philippines, because those are basically like completely different languages from Tagalog or from Filipino. So it's a completely different vocabulary, different way of speaking. So I find it really cool that you know those languages or dialects. How about you, Seb? What languages do you speak?
Thank you, Francesca. I speak French as a mother tongue. I do also speak English along with Swedish. Normally, I live in Sweden. I also speak Spanish, Italian, Catalan, with the language spoken around the city of Barcelona, Spain. I do speak Russian as well, and a little bit of Japanese. And I really wish I could speak Tagalog so I could have more interesting conversation with all you guys.
Well, that goes to my next question. What other languages do you want to learn? So I'm assuming Tagalog is one of those languages. If you have any more languages you would like to learn.
Let me quite check. I mean, I'm eager to speak any languages. I mean, there's such a variety, and I'm welcoming as long as I can practice. That's the main issue. But
Yes, yes. Let's go to July. July, for you, what languages do you speak?
I speak Norwegian, English, and two different dialects in Filipino dialects, which are Tagalog and Bisaya. And I want to learn Spanish, Italian, and Korean, if
Spanish,
possible.
Spanish, Italian, Korean, Spanish and Italian. Seb can help you out with that.
For sure.
Korean, you know, there are a lot of Church of Christ members in Korea. I'm pretty sure anyone can help you out with that, but that's really nice. And then you can maybe help Seb out with his Tagalog. So it was really a good helping opportunity right now. Kenneth, what about you, Kenneth? What languages do you speak?
Yeah, actually, I speak in Tagalog, of course, Ilocano, like Florabel, the same, and a little bit of Pangasinense also, and Swedish as of now. What about just Cheska?
I speak English. That's what I grew up with. And Swedish, because I grew up learning Swedish in Sweden. And Tagalog, I would say I can
Yeah,
I
I
can
think
pass.
you can.
I can pass. Well, Michelle, what about you? What languages do you speak?
Well, of course, I know our mother tongue, which is Tagalog, very well. And I also speak English and just a little bit of Svenska. Mm.
Jättebra, det är jättebra, jättebra. What languages would you still like to learn?
Well, I already know a little bit of Finnish, but I still wanted to, know more about it because, of course, I'm living here in Finland and it's gonna be very beneficial for me to learn the language, of course.
Yes, I can understand. I would also want to learn Finnish because my dad is Finnish. So it would be nice to have that language with me. So maybe one day in the future, I'll eventually learn it myself. But we'll see. But let's continue on with our discussion. Kind of, what would you like to ask our guests?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to Seb because I really want to learn French. Can you, Seb? Can you give us some basic words of French, maybe?
Bien sûr, Monsieur Kenneth.
What's
Of
that?
course. That was just of course, bien
Ah,
sûr.
of course.
Now,
Maybe sometime. Mm.
French, obviously, it's really related to all those Latin languages such as Italian, Spanish. So the vocabulary it's kind of similar. So as long as you know one of them, you will be more. It will be more easy. But
Mm.
I just want to discourage you. But French is a really, really hard language to write. Moreover, to speak as well, but to write it's really, really difficult.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Seb. And to Shelai, of course, I really want this finish also actually. Do you have some phrases or words of Finnish?
Um, hmm, Maybe just the basic one.
Yeah.
Just like introducing yourself. Mina, Olen, Michelle. You could try.
Okay.
Mina,
I
Olen.
I learned that kitos palyon. Kitos
Kitas
palyon.
Palyon. Yes, it's thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. To July maybe. I'm gonna ask you, what are the benefits of being able to speak and understand multiple languages for you, July?
For me, knowing and understanding the multiple languages is like opening up a map to new destinations. And not only will you be able to speak to more people, but you'll also understand the stories and subtle cultural nuances that connects with locals on a deeper level. Learning a language is like working out your brain. It enhances your memory, sharpens your problem solving skills, and improves your ability to multitask. That's what I thought so.
Yeah, I like what you said. Like knowing more than one language is like opening up a map, right? Yeah, to new destinations. Kumbaga, language is a doorway to a unique world of culture and opportunities, of course. And just as a map, it shows multiple routes, tama? Iba-ibang ruta to explore unfamiliar places. And being yung sinabi mo nga na multilingual, it gives you the ability to navigate through different societies and connect to all the people. And it's just like having a passport where every language you master opens up more doors. Tama ba, July? Yes. Thank you so much, July. And who do we have next? Jessica?
Yeah, I want to ask Seb the same thing. Like for you, what are the benefits of knowing and understanding multiple languages?
Well, obviously, I might answer basically the same as July. It opens the barriers. It really give you like social abilities to meet with people and to get a closer relation with those people. And also, it allows you to be more open-minded because through the languages, you're able to share your cultural differences and to have a better understanding of each other, and sometimes to overrule some prejudgment that people may have on some people, some populations, some countries. So it's the more the better. The more languages, the more ability you have to interact with people and to make connections, have more friends, and to be more open-minded. Definitely.
Yes, thank you. Like knowing the language in the country that you reside in, for example, helps you understand the mannerisms of the way of the people in the country. So thank you for that. Chelai or Michelle, what would you say are the benefits of knowing and understanding multiple languages?
Well, for me, it actually also boosts your confidence. You know, of course, as you are learning the language, you'll make for sure plenty of mistakes. But of course, these mistakes, it's actually a step toward becoming more proficient speaker and more resilient learner. And of course, studying a language allows you to take risk and step into something new and slightly uncomfortable. So kahit na, alam mo yung mahirap yung language na inaaral mo, pipilitin mo siyang gawin. Kasi it offers you a fantastic chance to grow and be more confident and mature.
Yes, I like that. Knowing a new language gives you a bit of a confidence boost, and to not be afraid to make mistakes because it's natural and it's going to happen. So to take it head high, face on, that mistakes are going to happen, and to just keep going with learning your new language. For you, Florba, what would you say are the benefits of knowing
You
a new
guys already mentioned everything. But it's hard to be the last person to be asked, right? Because they already mentioned everything. But it helps a lot with building personal relationship, because if you speak the language that they have, they're more open. People are more open to you, and you can also understand their inside jokes sometimes, because it's quite different, especially in Denmark. They have this dark humor. And if you don't speak their language, yeah, it's just difficult to get it. You
Yeah.
don't get the joke.
Yes, I like that. And I totally agree with that knowing the language, knowing whatever language, um, you get a bit of an insight on their sense of humor, and you're kind of in on the joke, because you understand what they're saying, how their mindset is, and their way of thinking in terms of the way they speak and their language. So I completely agree with that. So with this, we kind of want to test everyone's language skills on the Nordic languages. So we're going to ask the help of our tech to set up our game. We call it Guess the Language, Guess the Word. So what we're going to ask our guests to do is listen to the video or to the audio clip that will be played. A word will be spoken in one of the Nordic languages, whether it's Swedish, Danish, Norwegian, or Finnish. So our guests, they have notes up ready where they're going to show the language they think is being spoken. So the thing with the Nordic languages is that there are a lot of similarities, but there are also a lot of differences. So it's kind of to keep their ears open to hear what language is being spoken. So whoever kind of is able to answer first will chat with that person, and then you'll get the opportunity to kind of guess and translate what the word is. So if our techs in the Philippines can help us out with setting up our game, we would be very grateful. So we'll have our
Lux.
first word
Lux.
ready for you all. Can we play that one more time?
Lux. 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 Lux.
Okay, so let's actually go to Seb. I think he was the first one able to pick out the language. Seb, what did you answer?
I overheard the word lox, which has the similarity in Swedish and means the word salmon.
Yes. But Tex, can we maybe go to our next slide and see what the answer is? Exactly. So lax, salmon. So for everyone tuning in, you can also join in on the game and write down what language you think you hear in the live chat. So let's go to our next word, please.
Cat, 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 cat.
Let's go to Florabelle. She was the
Florabelle.
first one to get it to answer. So what did you answer?
What I understand is cat, which is also it's a cat in English. Cat.
What language was it?
It's Danish.
Danish. Let's see. Let's see if that was the correct answer. Exactly. So that one was a tricky one because it's the same thing in Swedish. It's the same thing in Norwegian. It's kind of just how the slight difference in pronunciation that kind of like that sets it apart. But let's go to our next word.
Koira, 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 koira.
Chellar was the first one to get that. So Chellar, what language and what word is it?
I've heard koira. So I think it's a dog in Finnish.
Yes. Is that the correct answer? Could you text if we can go to our next slide and see the answer? Exactly. So koira means dog in Finnish. In Swedish, it's hund. In Norwegian, what's dog in Norwegian, July?
The same. Hund.
Hund.
Hmm.
Florabelle, what's dog in Danish?
Hund.
Also that. So Finnish word for dog completely stands out from the Nordic countries. So that's really interesting to see. Can we go to our next word?
Blåbär. 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 Blåbär.
Okay, I think that was a tricky one, but Seb was the first one to answer. So Seb, what language and what word is it?
I guess it was Swedish, and that's the word for blueberry, blueberry.
So it's the literal translation. Blå is blue, bad is berry, blueberry. So can we go to the next slide and see that? Yes. So even in the Swedish language, you can see the letters, the A with the dot, or the one dot, or the A with the two dots. So that gives different words and different ways of pronouncing the words. But can we go to our next word?
Vesi, 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 vesi.
Okay, Chellar was the first one to answer. Chellar, what language and what word do you think it is?
I think I've heard vesi, and here in Finland it's called I think it's water.
Yes, so let's see if that was the correct answer in the next slide. Yes, so that was water in Finnish. In Swedish, we say vatten. In Norwegian, how do you say water, July?
Van.
Van. In Danish?
It's also van.
Danish and Norwegian has that in common. Swedish is vatten. Okay, let's go to the next word.
Älg. 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 Älg.
Okay, Seb has that up, but let's see if the other guests can guess what language they think that is. Can we play that one more time? For our text, can we play that one more time,
Älg.
please?
Älg. Älg. Älg.
Yeah, that's a tricky word. So, Seb, what language and what word is being said?
It's been too easy for me. It's Swedish, and it's el. It's the Swedish word for reindeer.
Actually, it's the word for moose.
Oh, used it. Sorry, I'm sorry.
Oh, So, but close enough, close enough. This is the animal species. Can we see that answer in the next slide? So L is a 3-letter word. Does anyone know what L or moose is in your languages? In Norwegian, do you know what moose is?
I'm not so sure if there's an elk, maybe.
Pretty the same. For Danish,
It's Elvis.
also. Do you know in Finnish, Chalai, the word for moose?
I'm not really sure. I don't want to provide any. I'm not sure. I don't know.
Let's get some help from our live chat. What is the Finnish word for moose? So please type that down so we can see later on. So we have 2 more words prepared. So if you can go to the next word.
Ø. 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 Ø.
Any guesses? Can we play that one more time, please?
Ø. Ø. Ø.
Sounds Danish.
Ø.
Maybe it is. Let's see that answer in our next slide. So it's 1 letter. It means island. In Swedish, it's kind of the same. 1 letter only means island. In Norwegian, is it similar?
A.
Yes. So yeah, so for island. We got an answer in the live chat for what moose is in Finnish, and it is hirvi. So we're learning something new. This is great. So let's go to our last word. And I think this is going to be easy. So hopefully everyone gets it. So can we go to our last word, please?
Talk. 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 Talk.
Okay, the first one to answer that was July. So July, what language and what word is being spoken?
Maybe I heard it wrong because there's a lot of dialects here in Norway, but I heard it like dialect in Norwegian.
Yes, and what word was being said?
It was tak, which is thank you.
Yes, is that the correct answer? Let's go to the next slide and check. Yes, tak is thank you. And that's also basically the same in Swedish. Tak, we just spell it a little bit differently. And Danish, I think, is also tak.
It's also tak, but it's single K.
Yeah, so it's also basically the same, just a little different. For Finnish, we know it's a completely different way of saying it. How do you say tak or thank you in Finnish?
Kiitos.
Kiitos. So, kiitos everyone. Tak, tak, tak. For joining us in our game, and also thank you for everyone who joined in the live chat. So we have like Phoebe Ann Castro. She answered Hirvi for moose. Brother MK Villarroel also got that answer. Hirvi is moose in Finnish. So thank you so much for your participation in the live chat. So we would actually want to take the opportunity to read some of the comments in the live chat. We have John Demin, god kväll. Happy viewing from the local of Maharlika, district of Bulacan East. Please extend my family to vegan greetings to the vegan family from Gothenburg, Sweden. So god kväll to you. We have Sol Bayoya. She says, I speak English, Ilocano, Whoa. Can you say that language?
It's kankanae.
Yeah, that. And then she also speaks Mandarin, Cantonese, and a bit of Japanese. So that's very cool. Pauline Agapai from Stockholm, she says, I would like to learn Finnish. It's a very unique one compared to the other languages here in the Nordic countries, indeed. And I would also like that. Maricela Farsado says, hello to all hosts on INCRadio. Thanks po sa masayang talakayan. Thank you for tuning in to our broadcast this evening.
Thank you for that.
We have Teresita Losanas, happy viewing from Milan, Italy North. And Pauline Agape also says that she can speak Filipino, English, and Swedish, kind of like me. Thank you. We have Selena Bolander, our fellow INCRadio host from Sweden. She says, learning the Swedish language helped me gain more confidence and independence here because now that I know how to communicate, I can now go out alone and not be shy or worried in communicating with the Swedes and even doing tasks as simple as purchasing stuff from the mall. So let's see, I think we have, yes, those are just some of the comments in the live chat. So please continue to type in what languages you speak, what languages you would still like to learn, and what experiences you've had in learning a new language. So let's go back to our topic discussion. So I would like to go to Floribel and ask you, like, what challenges did you experience in learning, for example, Danish? And what tips would you like to give someone trying to learn a new language?
Yeah. So the biggest challenge that I have here in Denmark in learning Danish is that they're quite good in English. So when they hear that you're struggling to speak the language, they just automatically shift to English. And of course, if you don't speak it, you don't learn it. So my tip to those people like me who's trying to learn a new language is that just speak it all the time as much as possible. And then if they try to shift to English, then you just tell them, you know what, I need to practice my Danish. So please bear with me and just speak Danish with me or whatever language.
Yes, be firm in wanting to speak the language you're learning. For you, Seb, what challenges did you experience in learning a new language or in learning Swedish? And what tips would you give someone wanting to learn a new language?
Well, we do face, all of us face some kind of challenges while learning a new language. But actually, I might have a story for you. When I had the opportunity to move to the United States, and prior to that, of course, I learned in the French school English as a second language, and I was kind of confident of myself, saying, "Oh, I can English." Moving to United States would not be such a big deal, and this overconfidence really got stopped right away when I arrived there, and I really like started my few weeks as a new American alien, let's say. And it's really like the tips I could say, like, never be overconfident. If you learn new words, even your mother tongue, you learn new words. So be humble and really keep your ear open and just listen to people talking. And that's the challenges I face. I really thought to myself, I don't know English. What is that? I must as well add that being in America, it worked as well. It's part of the equation because of course they have different intonation, different way of speaking than the academical British English that many people normally learn at school. But even though this was the biggest challenge I ever faced, and I felt really stupid of myself, thinking, "Oh, okay, I don't know English at all. Sorry." So
Yes, so really being in the country of the language that is spoken and kind of really soaking it all up and immersing yourself in the language is then one way of truly or fully understanding and learning language, even if English is something you know, but if you're not truly in the place where the language is, it's the mother tongue, it's hard to say. So if you're in the country of the language you want to learn, really soak everything in all of the ways. And with what Floribel said, really be firm and have them speak to you the language of the country for you to truly learn, for you to truly immerse yourself. So thank you for that. Kenneth, who would you like to ask?
Yes. Hi, Chelai. For you, what were the challenges you experienced, and you have any tips would you give someone trying to learn a new language?
Um, well, for me, Kenneth, there's a lot of challenges that I've already experienced and still experiencing. So first of all, there's, doubting your ability to learn the language, sometimes lack of motivation, fear of, speaking it, and lack of practice opportunity. Especially for me kasi, yung work ko is, employer ko is Swedish. So that's my struggle. How can I learn Finnish? Uh, Swedish yung employer ko. So that's one of my struggle in, learning the language.
Yeah, maybe you can ask. So maybe your friends na Finnish then maybe you can ask them, of course, so to motivate you to learn new language. It's just the same din sa akin yun actually. Ang hirap kasi mga friends ko are Filipinos, so it's hard to learn the Swedish language. But at the same time, syempre pumunta ako sa mga ibang sa mga Swedish people like that, and then I learned to them a lot actually. So try that one. That's my tips for you. Yeah, and do you have any tips maybe or?
Well, I think we'll just do our best and try to, if, for example, we learn one word, let's try to know how we can use it and, added learning dun sa language na inaaral din natin. And I don't have
Yeah,
anything, to think of.
yeah, exactly. Thank you, Chelai, for that. And for you, July, just the same. What were your challenges in learning a new language, and any tips that you give someone to trying to learn a new language?
Well, when I moved to Norway at 21 for work, the challenge of learning a new language felt overwhelming. There's communication barriers like unfamiliar accents, tone differences, and cultural contexts were very tough to navigate. Mastering pronunciation was a struggle, and I often found grammar to be tricky and confusing. But what kept me going was persistence. The frustration was real, but overcoming those hurdles made me feel like made each small achievement feel so rewarding. So if I were to give any tips to someone learning a new language, it would be to practice every day, and no matter how little,
Mm.
just 10
Yes.
to 15 minutes a day can make a huge difference. Immerse yourself in the immerse yourself in the language by watching films, reading books, and listening to music in the language you're learning. This exposure helps you pick up new words and familiarize yourself with pronunciation and structure. As what Francesca said earlier, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Every conversation, every conversation, even the awkward ones, is a chance to improve. Engage with native speakers as much as you can. The more you practice, the more confident you'll become.
Wow, yeah, indeed. Ayan, nasabi mo na lahat actually. And thank you for that tips, July. And for me, kasi I'm still learning in Swedish language. I just want also to give an advice. Yes, patience and persistence are the key. Yeah, and we should always, of course, pray to our Almighty God to help us in achieving our goals. And learning a new language, it takes time. Yeah, that's true. It takes time. And every mistake or challenge is an opportunity to learn. Tama? And to all who wants to learn a new language, stay curious and enjoy the process. Thank you. And for you, Cheska?
Yeah, so I agree with what July said about, watching films or TV or reading books or listening to music. Um, for me, learning Swedish was a different experience, maybe compared to all of you learning your respective languages, because I came to Sweden at a very young age. So children, they're kind of like sponges. They like kind of soak everything up. So one day I didn't know how to speak Swedish. The next day I did, and it wasn't like intentional that I have to learn this language. At 4 years old, you don't really think about like I have to learn this new language. It just kind of happens. So for children, like it's really the minds of children are really fascinating, that they can just learn so much so quickly. For me though, learning Tagalog, for example, I watch a lot of films. I watch a lot of TV, Filipino TV, Filipino films, listen to Filipino music, and that kind of helped me. And I spoke like Tagalog to myself, where I would repeat what was being said in the films or in the TV that I was watching, and that kind of helped me kind of gain the confidence to then start speaking it with other people, or start speaking it with my mom, and then later on speaking it with someone who I didn't know. That way I could test and see, like, do they think that I can speak the language? So really immerse yourself and try to soak everything up in any way possible, whether you're watching a movie or reading a book or listening to music, and doing your best to speak with the natives of the country. But that's kind of all for our topic discussion this evening. So Kenneth, what's next in our broadcast?
Yes, in our next segment, let's learn from Swedish words in our Let's Learn Swedish.
Hi! We're here to teach you some Swedish words related to our topic. Let's get started! Our first word is language. In Swedish, that is språk. Språk. Word is ord. Ord. Letter is bokstav. Bokstav. Talk is prata or tala. Prata or tala. Write is skriva. Skriva. Read is läsa. Läsa. Let's use some of these words in a sentence. I can speak, read, and write in Swedish would be jag kan tala, läsa och skriva på svenska. Jag kan tala, läsa, skriva på svenska. What languages do you speak? In Swedish it would be vilka språk talar du? Vilka språk talar du? Those were just some Swedish words for you. Hope you enjoy and see you next time. Or vi ses nästa gång.
Katya Heiskanen, the sister of our my co-host for tonight, Cheska. And yes, let's nagbasa muna tayo ng mga comments from the YouTube. And from Jonalyn Drew, languages I speak, English, Tagalog, Japanese, and Swedish. And from Arnold Ocampo, good evening to all the brethren. Here in Finland, if you know their language, you have a greater chance of getting a better job or having a better position at work. Wow, that's career opportunities. Yeah, thank you so much, Arnold. And from Sir Divine Nagit, good evening po everyone. Enjoy watching INCRadio Northern Europe. Hello po. And to Pauline Agapay, a native Swedes like to speak Swedish with us immigrants, and actually it helps you to learn by correcting the mistake in a proper way, which I think motivates me more to speak of it. Yeah, that's true, Pauline. And to Jonalyn again, Jeru, challenges was everyone speak the language aside from me. It's like a pressure to learn the language. I remembered I used to speak grammatically wrong, which was so embarrassing. But it's okay, and we learn from our mistakes also. Yeah, and from Sister Selena. Don't be shy in speaking the language. It's okay to make mistakes. Doesn't need to have the perfect grammar. Just keep on practicing, communicating, and you'll be fluent soon. Thank you for that, Sister Selena. And what's more? From Sir Lenore. Don't be shy to speak kahit na wrong grammar kasi ikaw correct ka naman. Yeah, that's true.
Yes, and Selena had an additional comment. We speak English at home, but my son learned Swedish at doggies or daycare, and now he can understand it fluently. So that's the thing with kids, in whatever setting or environment they may be, they really soak it up. For me, I spoke Swedish at doggies. That's how I learned it. But at home, we also spoke English. Yet, we as kids, we were able to like soak up and learn all of these languages. So thank you so much to everyone who commented in the live chat. Thank you all for your participation. Now let's go to our next segment, which is our CFO in action, where we talk about some of the activities that have been conducted and held in the Ecclesiastical District of Northern Europe. Now, Kenneth, do you want to take the first activity?
Yes, it's a baking tutorial from Stockholm, Sweden. Members of the Church of Christ in the local congregation of Stockholm, along with the group worship services in Sweden, actually participated in the CFO baking tutorial activity. And this initiative was designed to teach the brethren how to bake their own macaroons and providing them with an alternative source of livelihood. The participants were filled with joy as they engaged in the activity, as it not only allowed them to showcase their culinary skills, but also strengthen their faith as members of the Church of Christ, as what you can see in the broadcast. And next is Cheska.
Yes, so for our next activity, the Binhi and CEBSI members. So Binhi is the baptized member under the age of 18 inside the church, and the CEBSI is the children's worship service, so the young kids inside the Church of Christ. So the Binhi and CEBSI members in Mjøndalen, Larvik, and Kristiansand, Norway, gathered for a band rehearsal, practicing new songs for upcoming activities. It was a great opportunity for them to improve their musical skills while also sharing their faith through music. This activity also serves as a time for learning, bonding, and inspiring the young brethren. So this is very impressive from the young brethren from Norway, that they gather together to rehearse and practice their musical skill sets. So thank you so much for that. What are the next activities, Kenneth?
Yes, this is one important also. Brethren from Copenhagen, Denmark, organized an INC giving event during which they made donations to an organization, and they joyfully contributed toys, books, and clothing to those in need. And the brethren were delighted to take part in the worldwide INC giving project. Through this initiative, they united in extending help to those in need, reflecting the church commitment to kindness, community service, and love for their fellow men. Yeah, that's nice. To Copenhagen, Denmark. And what's next? Jessica?
Yes, so our next activity, we have another INC giving in Norway. So despite Norway being one of the countries with cold weather and heavy snowfall in winter, this did not stop the brethren from the group worship services of Mjøndalen, Rjukan, Larvik, and Kristiansand from extending help and spreading kindness to their neighbors in need by conducting the INC giving activity, Neighborhood Snow Plowing Activity. So thank you for that in Norway. And for our last activities, Kadiwa members, now the Kadiwa they are the baptized members in the Church of Christ, 18 years and above, not yet married. So Kadima members in Copenhagen, Denmark, and Helsinki, Finland actually recently held a bracelet making activity showcasing their creativity and resourcefulness. This activity fostered bonding and friendship through teamwork and meaningful conversations. Participants not only created beautiful bracelets, but also strengthened their connections with one another. So it's really nice to see all the pictures from Denmark and from Finland in their activities. So we hope that these activities inspire other congregations to have activities just like these. So we are nearing the end of our broadcast, everyone. So we want to take this opportunity for our guests to give their shout outs. So let's start with Michelle. Michelle, do you have any shout outs you would like to give?
Well, I just wanted to make a special shout out to all the brethren here in Finland, in Helsinki, in Espoo, Vanta, Hivinka, Turku, and Tampere. Good evening po. And to our destinado, Brother Fred Rigor, hello po, and Baby Ethan, and Sister Gwyneth.
Yes, thank you so much. Now, Florabelle, do you have any shout outs that you would like to give?
Yes, hello to all the brethren from Copenhagen, Denmark, especially the choir members and choir trainees. Hello as well to our OIC minister, Brother Oliver Nagit. That's it, Bob.
Thank you so much. July, do you have any shout outs that you would like to give?
Shout out to all my family. Probably they're watching right now. They're right from the Mallorca in Spain, in Italy, and here, of course, in Oslo, Norway. And to all the brethren in our local congregation in Stavanger, Norway. And especially to my friend who will be celebrating his birthday. His name is Cruz. Will be celebrating his birthday next week. Advance happy birthday. And to our resident minister and his family, Brother Paulo Goring.
Thank you so much. Now, Seb, how about you? Do you have any shout outs?
Yeah, big shout outs to all the brethren in Sweden, especially in the group worship service of Arboga. As well, like big kiss to my beautiful wife and my amazing family. And also a big shout out to our minister, Brother Roland Pineda.
Yes. Thank you once again to all of our guests for being with us this evening. We had a really good time with you tonight. Now, Kenneth, do we have any birthday greetings that we would like to give?
Yes. Okay. Let's start from Vienna West. Happy birthday to Feli Harap, Melanie Lopez, Bernadette Mijay-Log, sorry for that, Christian Siazon, Annabelle Siazon, and Martin C. And from Helsinki, Rachel Ann Ochege, Michelle Clavis. Chelai, happy birthday. And Jana Igarelino and Sister Gwyneth Rigor. And from Oslo East, Angelo Simon and David Estoy. And from Yondalen, Cheryl Trengen. Yes, happy birthday. And
Yes.
to Stockholm, one more. From Stockholm, happy birthday to Star and Kevin Fireburn. And to Patrick Arn. Yeah, that's it.
Yes. And for Copenhagen, we would like to greet Shashalin Hansen, Carmina Pajo, and Charmaine Hansen, who will be having their birthdays or have had their birthdays. So once again, happy birthday to everyone, all the March celebrants. So once again, we want to thank all our viewers and our listeners for tuning in to our broadcast this evening and for participating in our live chat discussion. We hope that you enjoyed and that you learned something from our broadcast this evening. And we hope that this encourages you all to take that step into learning a new language that you want to learn. Once again, we want to thank the tech in the Philippines for helping us out in our broadcast this evening. And who else do we want to thank, Kenneth?
Yes, thank you to our beloved Executive Minister, Brother Eduardo V. Manalo, for having INCRadio programs such as this, Brother Angelo Iranio Manalo, CEBSI President and CEO and Christian Family Organizations Coordinator, and Brother Montreville Boy, INC Media Production Section Chief, and Brother Wally Tara, INCRadio Subsection Chief. And
Yes, and we also want to greet and thank our District Supervising Minister, Brother Visar Balsita, our Assistant District Supervising Minister, Brother Jake Edick, and our District CFO Overseer, Brother Oliver Nagit. And I would like to give my personal greetings. So I want to greet my parents, my nanay and my tatay, Arthur and Rosalie Eiskanen. I want to greet my sister, Sister Katja, who also helped us out with one of our segments in our broadcast this evening. I would also like to greet my brother, Brother Nikolai, who is in the Philippines right now. Hope you're doing well. I would like to greet my congregation of Lund, Sweden, and all of the church officers in Lund. I would also like to greet all of the District Kadiwa officers in Northern Europe. Kenneth, who would you like to greet?
yes, I would like to greet my family and friends in the Philippines, and of course, my family here from Stockholm, Arboga, Nynäshamn, and Skanstull. Yeah, salamat po sa mga kapatid. And to our destinado po, ka Roland Pineda, hello po, and his family. And yeah, that's it, Jessica.
Yes, so once again, a big thank you to our guest for being with us this evening. A big thank you to all of the viewers, all of the listeners for tuning in to our broadcast this evening. And once again, thank you for watching INCRadio Northern Europe Satellite Studio, and see you all next week. Up next is Itong Payo.
In the Bible it was proclaimed it would be hard to be a Christian in these last days. So we gotta be ready to fight the good fight. Yeah. We have been taught from the beginning. This is no time to be lax or be sleeping. Let nothing change